Moment of silence, now scream to your lungs, high pitch. I mean, I'm all about the skrilla, well, I guess that's about it. The root of happiness, absent for duty. I practiced abstinence for a week or two, but nothing was the same when I learned the game from a freak or two. They better add the king in front of your...
What's going on? We're here with another episode of the Boyz to Gents Podcast. We got TJ here, aka Chef TJ. We got Josh Nixon. We got Kelvin Thomas. And we got Spiff, aka the Quan Farmer. What's going on, fellas?
What's the word? What's going on?
Sir. All right, so we got a few topics. I want to get into them quick because I know sometimes we might stay on one a little longer. We want to stay on track. So, do y'all got anything y'all want to shout out? Anything y'all want to, advertise before we get started?
No, I'm good.
We say that for the end.
Okay, cool. All right, so the first topic we're gonna get into, man, and this one I've been wanting to talk about for a minute, just because of some personal experience and stuff that I've seen. But the first topic we're gonna talk about is religion. So I guess before we get like really deep into it, I just want to get from each one of y'all like where y'all stand as far as religion. So I guess the first question to everybody would be starting with we're gonna start with Kelvin. Are you a religious person?
I am not anymore. I grew up heavy in the church, but I'm not anymore at all.
Okay. Josh, what about you?
Yes, I'm getting back to it, but I do think a lot of us was taught wrong. Wise, I got out of it, but I'm getting back into it. So short answer, yes, I'll elaborate later.
Okay, cool. We're gonna stick to short answers real quick before we really dive into it. But since you are religious, what religion do you affiliate with? Or
so that will go into the long answer. So I'm gonna just say citizen, a kingdom citizen.
Okay. I never heard of that one, so we definitely gonna have to come back to that. TJ, what about you?
I haven't been religious lately, but I'm getting back to it.
Okay. And would you say you feel? Do you have an affiliation?
More like people that believe in God.
Okay, so no specific religion.
Yeah, exactly. You feel me?
Okay. What about you, Spiff?
No, I'm an atheist. So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when it's time, I can elaborate for sure.
Okay, for sure. Well, I mean, then in that to close it out for me, I don't call myself religious. I don't think that I'm an atheist. I'm not an atheist by definition, but I do say that I'm not religious per se. But so I just wanted to get everybody kind of standpoint before we really hop into it. So I guess starting with Spiff, you want to give us like kind of your rundown of like why you aren't religious?
Yeah, sure. Well, the short answer is, before I begin, I just want to get a disclaimer that I don't mean, no disrespect to anybody's beliefs or anything like that. I come from the church, like Kelvin said, I come from, being heavy in the church. I was in church 7 days a week, man. So I respect anybody who, still practice for sure. But, the short answer is, once I've, educated myself, it's one, it doesn't make sense. 2, it's not real. 3, it's not necessary for me at this stage in my life. You know what I mean? It's not necessary for this, stage in my life. In my opinion, all religions, you can name it, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Buddhism, Hinduism, you can name it. They all, if you, study them, they all pretty much the same story. It's an allegorical, tales, trying to get to trying to get to the answer of what is the basis of life. How do you navigate through this thing called life? You know what I mean? The greatest of which probably will be the Bible. So, and don't get me wrong, all of these texts and stuff like that are some of the greatest stories we ever seen written. You know, these are the greatest books ever written, right? But you know, that don't make them true or to be you know, taken as fact, if that makes sense. You know, it's just stories, man. It's just stories trying to explain the meaning of life. You know.
So when you say you're an
Okay.
atheist, like you don't believe in like a higher power at all?
I don't believe that there is a God. No, like I don't believe that there's some entity dwelling in the sky that is responsible for or dictates all the happenings that go on, you know, on this planet. I don't believe that.
So when people die, what do you think? Afterwards, spiritual life, afterlife, do you believe in that?
I don't believe in heaven or hell. Like that's not you know, I don't believe like that. Those institutions exist, but I'm a scientific dude, man. I'm a scientific dude. So, you know, energy is not, you know, created nor destroyed. We all learned that, right? You know, we was shorties in 4th grade biology. Energy is not created nor destroyed. It's only transferred. So therefore, when we do die, like our energy just doesn't leave the planet. You know, it goes back into the planet, just like, you know, anything else, right? We decompose and back into the planet, and then we are reincarnated, if you want to use that term. And so, you know, whatever we, you know, manifest as. But it's again, I don't believe in like a heaven or hell or anything like that, you know. Or do that make sense? Do that answer your question, TJ?
All right, so this is my question. Do you like when we die, you just think like we just go back into the earth, or like do you think there is a spiritual realm or not?
Not personified like people would think. Like not like, okay, once TJ died, TJ's soul just kind of roamed the earth. Or once, you know, Spiff died, Spiff soul roamed the earth, and I'm gonna go, you know, visit my little cousin and go visit my son and tell him, you know what I'm saying, that 6-man shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, I know. But I do, again, believe that we are reincarnated in some sense, you know, like, and I hate to use the word reincarnated because that's kind of like, you know, I don't believe in no spooky shit. Excuse my language. You know what I'm saying? But I do believe that our energy is, you know, redeposited back into the universe in whatever form that may take. But we don't have no say over that. Nobody has no say over how our energy is redeposited back into the universe. You know what I'm saying? It's not like God, like, all right, I'm gonna make you a cat in your next lifetime, or I'll make you fucking Gandhi or Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? Or I'll make you a #1 draft pick 50 years from now when you read. It's like, I don't believe that. No. You know?
Is it I guess my question is, because you said you grew up religious, so is it something that got you to this point? Is it the like you doing your studying, or was it like some type of moment where it just kind of clicked for you or something?
It was slow. It was slow and methodical. You know, it started out. I was a Christian. Like I said, I was pretty deep in the church. But, you know, as I got older, let's say around like 18, 19, this is my first, you know, year or two in the military. I think the first step was understanding that Christianity particularly is, you know, one, it's the youngest religion. Let's get that out there. It's the youngest religion. It's like 12,000 years old, give or take. The world been around for fucking hundreds of thousands. Humans as we know have been around for hundreds of thousands of years. The earth itself been around for millions, right? So I can't take a religion seriously that, you know, was made like very recently in the grand scheme of time. You know what I mean? Like, that just kind of don't make sense, you know, and that's evident through, if you read the Bible, the happenings in the Bible are very like modern things, you know what I'm saying? It's humans, you know, birds, dogs, cats, you know what I'm saying? That type of shit, right? But you don't see no dinosaurs, you don't see none of that, none of those things that we obviously have evidence that existed millions of years ago. You don't see any of those things personified in the Bible, right? So that was the first step, you know, learning that Christianity was, you know, a creation, a European creation. I was stepping into my blackness at that age, 18, 19, 20 years old. I was stepping into my blackness at that age. And then from there, I broke down to each religion, okay, why this one don't make sense? Why does that one? And then once you start studying all the religions, you see they all similar in their basis. They have a Messiah that, died and was resurrected on December 25th, born of Immaculate Conception. Every single religion has the same story with the same gist. 12 disciples, the same thing. You name it, so. Yeah.
Okay. So, hold on. Anybody got any questions or anything for bro?
No, I was just about to say, I like the perspective about the dinosaurs and shit, though. I was like, I never thought of it like that.
Okay. Josh, you want to give us your, I guess, your religious upbringing and where do you stand on your stance on religion and everything?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So for me, I grew up heavy in the church. Like I was saying, I didn't go, I don't think, for the right reasons. Of course, I did it for the attention, always wanting to learn the scriptures and things, junior deacon. Then as I got older, kind of fell out of it just because I started seeing a lot of hypocrisy within the church. And just recently, I'll say before then, I was always consider myself Baptist. But recently, for like the past 3 months, I joined this new church's Action Chapel. And it's they talk about the kingdom, and like they go against pretty much everything that I was taught, as far as like when we die, we don't go to heaven. Like, and then I read the Bible, we broke it down, and in the Bible, it never says we go to heaven. It always says God come out of heaven or things like that. And then like far as instance with the different religions, because that was one of my questions. And my opinion, what they were saying, like basically the thing that, like God always said, the kingdom of heaven is upon us. Like he always said kingdom. Like that's what he talked about, being a kingdom citizen. And then you ask yourself, like, what's the most natural way to become a citizen? And that's to be born into citizenship. That's why we get baptized and reborn again. But baptism taught me something totally different. They didn't teach me about that. And see, a lot of information. And then, for instance, like religion, because that was a thing we talked about, I think, like last month, and like all the different religions. And he was like, God never preached Christianity. He never preached any of these things. He preached the gospel, and he said these other religions is just created for confusion. Because in Matthew's, I was reading it was saying like what will bring the end of the world. Most people always go to Revelations. In Matthew's, it says once everyone speaks in the same accord as far as the kingdom, then God will come back and reign on earth for like 1,000 years or something. But that's my opinion, and it's still learning. But I consider myself as far as a kingdom citizen instead of Baptist now.
Okay.
But still reading, like I said, learning. Pretty much, like I said, it's different than everything I was taught, and to me, it makes more sense. Then, yeah.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That's
I think
I heard of.
And so we all clear, like that's the kingdom citizen is a denomination in some sort of Christianity in some sort.
Yeah.
Yeah, like follow the Bible. Okay.
Yeah. No, I didn't. Honestly, I never heard of that. So that was honestly, that's interesting.
So like they break it down as the Bible being more practical. It's not religious. They say it never was meant to be religious and things like that. Just people take it and of course weaponize it. And because he was saying like, it's no reason you should even go into the church. He was like, God said, go out into the world. He never said go into a church and hold these 4 doors and judge people and things like that. So
1,000,000%.
Okay. I like that. TJ, what you got?
What was the question again?
Where is your, I guess you said you getting back to religion or whatever. What do you mean by that?
No, of course, we grew up in the church, close to God, prayed a lot. 2 things that happened to me that I was like, nah. So one, I had somebody close to me. They had a baby out of wedlock. That's when you're not married, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, mind you, this woman was in the church. She did everything for the church, was there all the time. You know what I'm saying? And they wouldn't, they was having issues baptizing the baby. You know what I'm saying? Because she wasn't married when she had this child. which pissed me off a lot. Like, I'm like, y'all judging her, but like, who putting all these events together? Who helping y'all feed the homeless? Who, you know what I'm saying, doing all this and doing all that? But, you know what I'm saying, she had a boyfriend, she had a baby, she wasn't married, and y'all not gonna baptize the baby as much as she do for this church. That was my first one. Second one, if you know me, I was like, my thought process was always be good, do good, pray. You know what I'm saying? I had some stuff happen to me, and I blame God. I was like, I'm this good person. I do good things. How the fuck you let this happen to me? Like, what the fuck is going on? I turned my back on God. That was one of the bigger things. That was, now that I'm older, I realized I looked at it differently. You go through them tough times as opposed to make you dig deeper in, not necessarily religion, but just more into finding yourself in the spirituality and trusting in the higher power. But those two things was reason why I got away from it. Reason why I'm going back, because I'm like, I've been feeling like without that stability in my life, I kind of been running around like a chicken with his head cut off. So I need to get, like, having that in my life kind of humbles me and kind of keeps me stable. You know what I'm saying? Whereas when I'm thinking I got all the answers and I don't, I'll be out here kind of wilding. So I'm getting back to, you know what I'm saying, going back to church and, you know what I'm saying, hearing that. Because, you know, that was one of my exes. She used to always say, like, she loved to bone me because I get up. No matter how, because y'all know, we used to turn up. No matter how much we turned up, I get up like, hey, we're going to church. Especially, you know, me and Thomas live together. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to go to church. That's one of the things she loved about me. And so I need to get back to that. You know what I'm saying? And then not even just the spiritual part, but just having that word, man. It's like going to a motivational
counselor or therapy.
Yeah, you feel me? You feel me? It's like going to a motivational speech or, you know what I'm saying, whatever. It's not necessarily just, you know, the religious part of it. It's just, you know, some of the stuff you say is gonna hit you, you know what I'm saying, and make you a better person. So I'm getting back to that.
Okay. Thomas or Kelvin, my bad, bro. So where's your stance? How'd you get where you are right now?
I basically agree with almost just about everything that Spiff said. I'm right there with him with everything he said. So I mean, I don't gotta repeat it, but something else. I mean, the main religion that we are in America, when I say we, Black people, the main religion we are in America is Christian, and I'm mainly speaking just to that. It was introduced to us by the same people that oppressed us. You know what I'm saying? So, and on top of that, the religion was used as justification to oppress us.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, with that being said, I as I got older and, you know, studied it myself, my own personal experiences witnessing in the world like that, yeah, I just kind of pulled away from it there. Another thing, TJ, that story you just said, that literally happened to my daughter. Like, yeah, I mean, on another thing. But yeah, that. But I do love what the when church is done the right way. I love what it represents.
Yeah.
What, you know, how you're striving to do better in the world. But I mean, just ultimately, I can't accept that, you know, you deal with the pain now so you can be rewarded in the afterlife. I know that's only a small portion of it, and, you know, I could be wrong there, but that's that. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so my standing with it is it's similar to what you saying, Kelvin. It has a lot of similarity to what Spiff said, and then I can also understand where TJ and Josh come from. So mine, what I say is I'm not religious. I do think that there is I don't see God the way other people see God. I don't see him as this like person that's literally watching everybody's single move, like and like coordinating everybody's every step.
Right, like they make it sound like God, Bill Belichick and shit.
Right, like damn near, like so that's the part I was just like that, like. But don't get me wrong, like I mean, it sounded like all of us had at some point or another had some type of religious backing at one point in their life. And for me, I mean, my grandfather and grandmother were both like heavily into the church. My mom wasn't as much, but my grandparents they were like almost my second set of parents, so I did get enough church in my life. I mean, not to mention all type of other things. So I had definitely had a belief in God at one point, but I mean, just kind of similar to what Spiff says. Like the older I got, the more I started to like kind of think things through, the less sense that it made. And what started to bother me is to see how people use it as a control tactic. And I just never been one to be controlled, and that's not a jab at nobody, you know what I'm saying? Because I understand, and I really do respect the basis of religion, but I think in a lot of sense nowadays its only real purpose is to give people a moral compass. And for me, I don't need a moral compass to like be a good person. I don't want to. I'm gonna be a good person and do right by people because that's what feels right by me. You know what I'm saying? But for a long time, I was somebody who was like, man, if you're not religious, I'm like, what's keeping you from being a complete slime ball? But then I realized like some people just don't want to be a slime ball, and there's some people who in religions who are that, and they just literally use it as a control tactic. People use it for social status and stuff like that. So, I mean, not to mention like I've had a lot of family members who have so many kind of like crazy tales of what uh religious figures have done that has caused like harm to them, whether that's, I mean, that can be anything. I'm not gonna hop straight all the way into that, but it's just like and I feel like because you get people that social status in those religions, it gives them that like that wall up to you automatically see them as a good person, and they might be a complete slime ball. And you know what I'm saying, and then it get to a point where like people will like look past all of this person's like everyday like damn near destructive ways because they the pastor or the head deacon and things like that. So that's the part of it I just don't care for. And I mean, and then like my biggest thing that kind of started making me like, bro, this don't make sense, is like once you started to think about things, like once you start having family members that are like gay, you know what I'm saying? And like you watch them grow up and you know that that's not like it's a, you don't, you know, it's not no error with that person. It's just, that's just who they are. You know what I'm saying? That's when religions start to like not make sense at all with me. Cause it's like in a lot of these religions, like you literally, they literally like cast this person away. You know what I'm saying? Like this person is, you know, pretty much they make them they abomination of the world. And it's like, no, he or she is just different. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's hard for me to like really align with any religion that like shows that much of a disdain for somebody just because they literally were just born a certain way. You know what I'm saying? So right. That's the part of it that I'm like, I don't know, man. And I mean, there are people that kind of interpret the Bible a different way, or different religions a different way, and they'll tell you that's not what it was meant. And I know some of those things is man-made, and some of those like ideologies are man-made, you know what I'm saying, stuff that they took from religions. But it's just the older I get, the less it makes sense and the less that I'm kind of down with it. But I, like a lot of people say, I love what religion at its core stands for. But at the same time, I don't need that to kind of govern my everyday moves or govern like me being a good person, if that makes sense. So that's really my stance on religion. But anybody else got something they want to add on to that?
I mean, yeah, I just to piggyback off what Braxton said, that was my point, man. Like it's not necessary for me in my life today. And I do respect it in the sense that it does give, to TJ's point, right? You know, it does give you a basis. It does give you some direction if you need some, some focusing on your purpose, right? But in my opinion, you can figure out your purpose in life, you know what I'm saying, through contemplation. You can figure out your purpose in life through meditation. You can figure out your purpose in life through education. I don't need these set of rules, or so to speak, or these stories to shape my life around. You know, I can shape my life myself. I have the intellect to do so, right? So, and then again, I get it's just not necessary for me at this point in my life. And then as far as the validity of, you know, any of these religions, again, you could just point to it's clearly all the religions is clearly like a allegory of, again, figuring out what life is. And if you read the text closely, from what it sounds like to me, they're talking about the sun. They're talking about the sun. Mm-hmm. And then each, you know, I guess group of people took that, you know, story of the sun, you know, it rises in the east, sets in the west, you know, 12 months, 12 disciples, the Son of God, all of this stuff, right? You know, all of these, once you look at it, it's clearly they trying to tell a story, right? But all that is just trying to figure out, you know, the ways of the world. That's really it, man. It's not, you know, if you want to use it in order to give yourself some structure, that's cool and all. But, you know, if not, if you don't need that, then you don't need that. You know? So, yeah, man. I agree with you, Braxton. I agree with all y'all. I see where all y'all coming from for sure. And I think that we all on the same page that, I guess, if we want to go back to the most, you know, pertinent or prominent, religion in our community, Christianity is like the way it's practiced, the way it's been practiced is not the way.
Okay. Do y'all think
serious question though? And I know y'all think I'm gonna be joking and shit. So do y'all believe in Satan, the devil, and do y'all think like people can get possessed? Quick answer. I don't need nothing crazy. Like humans. You said no.
Nope.
You don't believe in that?
No, that's called mental illness.
No, I'm just saying no to both.
Yeah, that's okay. But that's just me. I mean,
no to both.
No to both.
Yes, I believe.
Okay.
No, I don't believe that there's again, just like I don't believe that it's a good entity. I don't believe that it's like some bad entity that like kind of controls, you know, exactly like it's mental illness.
I believe in like we already kind of said, energy and all that stuff. I just think
I believe in negative energy.
Yeah, I think I mean, the biggest reason why I'm not religious anymore is because I think it's kind of obvious that our ancestors were, you know, they believed in ancestors. They believed in, like, you know what I'm saying, you know, that they pour libations for, you know what I'm saying, our ancestors. They believe in energy and in our natural spirit. I don't believe that there is somebody literally standing behind me saying, hey, go shoot that person. I think it's more of like or somebody standing behind me and saying, hey, go help that person out. I think it's more of like just the energy that we create through how we carry ourselves, the energy that's given to us from, you know what I'm saying, family and friends and the things that we keep around us. I think that's more of the way I see, you know what I'm saying, I guess my spirit, you know what I'm saying, if that makes sense.
I didn't ask, this is my question though. I didn't ask you or Thomas because y'all both kind of had this similar thought process as a farm. Do y'all believe in afterlife?
I don't.
You think once you die, that's just it?
I do, but like I said, it's hard to put in words how I see afterlife. You know what I'm saying? You know, how our, you know, spirits and all. I don't see it the same way as everybody. I think it's more of a, like, yeah, our energy passes on, and I think it's, you know, like it's forever there. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that it's like I'm like literally when I die, like a lighter version of me is gonna hop out the casket and be sitting next to everybody, you know what I'm saying, seeing who crying and who ain't crying and all that. I don't think it's that way. I don't, like he said, like the 6 man, I don't think it's like that. But that's just me. But I think it's just we've all been kind of, to an extent, white, black, whatever color, have been conditioned to like want something outside of afterlife, you know what I'm saying? And it's hard. I think it would send the world through a fucking frenzy if everybody actually grasped the actual concept of like, when I die, it's not like somebody's gonna be sitting there waiting on me like, hey, come on, son, like you did a good job. I don't think that it's that way to that extent. And it's hard for me really to explain how I see. I think I am there, but I don't think it's like, yeah, like me, all of a sudden I get up and wings spread out of my back. I don't see it that way.
Right, like
I miss my Uncle Charles, dog.
Right.
Well,
It's hard to
hey, Nixon, go ahead and then I go.
Oh, for me, it's I recently learned that. So we've been saying is that like since you don't go to heaven, right? So like in the Bible, it says multiple times how God comes out of heaven. He never says that we go to heaven, because even the guy that leads the Bible study would say it'd be cruel for you to have to live your life and do all this stuff and just to die, just to get your reward. When the whole time in the Bible it says, repent now, for the kingdom of heaven is upon us. It doesn't, for the kingdom is upon it. It doesn't say that you have to die and stuff. And even like the word repent, like I was always taught that, you get on your knees, you pray and pray. But like how he broke it down, repent is just a word from the penthouse. And then of course, is just to do something again. So it's just a higher form of thinking. So once you change the way you think, then you repent. But of course, my church was taught that, of course, you got to get down, beg and cry. And he's like, no, it's not like that. And so we was taught that like once you die, like you just sleep, like everyone is asleep. And as far as that, yeah, and like your soul don't come out. I think you're just sleep until God comes back. But
Well, my last part on this, and then we can change the topic. But my biggest part on just believing in a higher power is because ain't no way in hell we came from a Big Bang theory, bro. It's just too much shit going on in the atmosphere and in the universe for me to just think it was an accident.
Ain't no way, boy. Ain't no way.
That's exactly what I think happened.
Well, Thomas.
I mean, even if, let's say,
I told y'all.
Hold on.
You want to be so different. No.
Say, well, Thomas.
Hold on. Let's say, hey, y'all funny as hell. Let's say that didn't happen. Like, let's say that the Big Bang Theory is not a thing, and let's also say that we don't know how we got here. That's cool and all, but I don't think it's necessary. Again, I don't think it's necessary because we don't know something to then come up with our own story. We just continue to do research. We just continue to, study. We continue to learn, about society, about each other, and, continue to dig in the past and learn about history and connect everything to figure out, what it is this thing life is called. That's what science is to me. Right.
Yeah, and I feel that way, but I'm saying I ain't even talking about just on the earth. I'm talking about the universe as a whole. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, let me can I add a flaw to what you're saying though? If you saying that, yeah, like, all right, the story of the Bible is real, right? Me and you have talked, and you said that you think that there is you believe in aliens.
Yeah, you said you don't.
Yeah, I don't. But you said you believe in aliens. Yeah, I mean, my issue with that is, okay, so what's their story? Who is their higher? Do they have a story too, like a biblical story? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm not sure. I'm just saying it's a higher power. A higher power. I'm not saying you maybe you making it like, maybe that's what I'm messing up when I'm saying religious. I believe in a higher power.
Oh, okay.
All right. And I was about to say, even they changed the Sabbath day. When you think about it, most like we talk the Sabbath day is on Sunday, but really it was on Saturday. And the Roman changed it. Like, it's just like we just been taught so wrong. It's just crazy.
Yeah. I mean, exactly. Like that entire religion is a Roman pagan myth. You know what I'm saying? Like, a political. It was a political tool, and that was fucking a few thousand years ago.
And just to say, because he said I believe in aliens, so I know they're gonna be like, what the fuck? No, all right. So I believe there are other living beings outside of Earth. Yes, do I believe that? Yes.
So aliens.
Same thing. But I had to explain it. So, you know what I'm saying? Now, I don't think there's green men with big ass heads running around on Earth and shit.
I know.
But I believe there are other living beings outside of Earth. Yes, 110%.
Okay.
I mean,
okay,
we're gonna
cool.
find out soon.
Yeah,
Lil Uzi bought a planet.
Right.
Hey.
All right. So, I guess to wrap that up, let's hop to the next subject. So we're gonna hop into sports. All right. So, so the finals just ended. You know what I mean? Milwaukee Bucks definitely just came away with the title. Not gonna lie, I didn't have a dog in the fight, but I would have loved to see Chris Paul get a ring. But with that, to first start out, what are y'all thoughts on the finals as far as Chris Paul goes? Do you think that his before we even get to it, Spiff in the background celebrating because he a Giannis fan. But we're gonna get into Giannis real quick. But let's first start with Chris Paul. So do y'all think this season, and then y'all think the season changes Chris Paul's legacy? And do y'all think the finals, whether good or bad, do y'all think that has an effect on his legacy? So starting with you, Nixon, what you think?
No, I mean, it's been proven that, he's, to me, a great regular season player, but every time it gets to the playoffs, although this is the first time seeing him in the finals, he just doesn't show up. He dropped the ball. So, but do I think it's going to change his legacy? No, he's still going to be, Hall of Fame, but he's going to be one of those guys that never gets a ring. So, yeah.
What about you, Kelvin?
I think it's solidified in the middle of these playoffs, win, lose, or draw, that he was top 5 point guard all time. But see you already. But I think that this did put a stain on him that he can't get it done. You know what I mean? Like he goes down in moments where he needs to, where we as a superstar want you to go up.
Yeah.
I think that, so it's a little twofold there for him.
Is that a fair expectation on somebody that's like 6'3" in a league full of people that's on average like 6'6"? You think?
Probably not, but he put himself there when he, became so highly paid, when he went, from team to team and raised those teams up.
But shouldn't that say something?
Pressure you should put on yourself, huh?
Shouldn't that be a boost then? I'm just really playing devil's advocate, really.
Yeah, but it is a boost to, all right, that's good enough for us to put you top 5 point guards all the time, but we can't give you, but it comes with the asterisk on it, because in a time where it matters most, you brought the Clippers from being a terrible organization and you got them 50 wins a season, but then you go out for a second round. They won like 67 games and pushed Golden State to 7 games with KD on their team when he was with Houston. But then what happened? Injuries there. But same thing going here. Well, it wasn't injuries. It's just his play just dropped.
Yeah. Okay. What you got, Spiff? What you think?
I don't think it personally. I don't think it put like shouldn't put a stain on his career. Chris Paul was already, top 5, top 6. Is arguable. Point guard all time. He's gonna end that. He's gonna end that even after this. Finals after this season. He played as well as he could. Well, except for them 3 games, that little 3-game stretch. But otherwise, he played as well as he could play. The man had a bum shoulder. The man had a bum. He's 36 years old. You can only expect so much out of a 36, 5'11" nigga. I don't know. I get, he's a great player. I get, he got, daily mid-range, and he's the best leader probably behind Magic Johnson of all time, maybe Jason Kidd. But he at least top 3, right? Leaders of all time in the league. But I don't think this should put a stain on his record. If anything, I feel like this bolsters his record because, he was incredible in the playoffs, man. But, he just, at the end of the day, what can you do when a nigga averaging 35 and 13? What can you really do?
TJ, you want to add something to this, or you kind of stand out the sport?
Man, Gordon Ramsay had that triple double. That shit was kind of fire, bro. No, I don't watch sports, so yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, man.
Everything you need to learn, just listen to me, bro.
Basket? No, I'm
It's not. Yeah, I don't. It's not looking.
It don't intrigue me. I used to watch football, but I can't do it no more.
That's because he said. But
football?
Yes, nigga.
No, I'm colder than you in football.
No, you wasn't. But don't put that on God like that. You know that's not fact. But anyway, TJ was okay in middle school, and TJ is staying on middle school vibes. But he
play flag football together. Hey, yo, I just found my shirt too. We playing flag football. Man, I was fucking him up, dog. No, it was like, damn, Jerome Bettis. Yeah, they ain't on my big ass move like that.
That's because you was running people over in flag football.
Yeah, get the fuck out the way.
Can't do that. You literally
that's illegal. It's illegal. So
literally.
You know what I'm saying? But
it's in the name of the game.
Right.
Y'all funny.
But I'm like, so like if I was being a prisoner in the moment, like them last few games kind of like gave me a little sour like look on the way Chris Paul played and his legacy. But you know what I'm saying, when I sit down and think about like, okay, he had a crazy playoff run all the way up until that situation. I mean, to them last few games. And but I think it was already arguable to have Chris Paul in the top 5. I think without getting to the finals kind of made it hard to make that argument. But I think the way he played in that, and then just it made it still somewhat him being arguable about the top 5, because I love the fact that people like to call him a great leader and shit. But sometimes I'd be like, you also like pissed off a lot of your teammates because you just was like kind of like he was like that dude. Only difference between Chris Paul and the dude that everybody hate on the court that's always like a player coach. Usually when you hooping like the player coach on the court, he usually sad. Chris Paul obviously not sad, but he annoying.
I knew it was coming back to me. Hey,
what? Look though.
I ain't even talking about you.
He threw a shot at you real quick.
Oh God, I was not talking about you. I swear to God, I was not talking.
Player coach. Oh, that's on there right now.
Crazy.
I'm not even talking about you.
He don't respect you, bro. He don't respect you.
It's crazy because on my life I wasn't talking about you.
Yeah, whatever, bro. DJ, I know you weren't talking about me, but I'm looking at Josh and I seen his face. I knew he was me.
Yeah, right.
Oh shit.
But yeah, no, usually the player coach. Usually the player coach is annoying and most of the time sad. But Chris Paul like that, he just annoying as hell. And I think sometimes that you might get the most. I think Chris Paul, he gets the most out of mediocre to good talent. But like whenever he has a team that's like great, sometimes he get in the way because he don't know when to shut up and just kind of let the game be the game. So I think that part, I think that's that kind of, in my opinion, gave him a little bit of a smudge on his record. But I mean, I still think, I would argue him being top 5, but I at least top 6. But you know, nobody really cares about 6. So I guess we can argue him being top 5.
Honestly, now that you say that, bro, the way you just framed that, bro, it's like the nigga clearly was just meant to be a top 5 ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Because it's like no matter what the situation is, he a top 5 ass. If he had a great team, it's like they played down to a certain level. You know what I'm saying? And then when he had a bum ass, well, not a bum ass team, but a mediocre team, they play up to a certain level. But it's only that mid level, like that top 5 level. It's never the number 1 team. You know what I'm saying? It's always like because when he had Blake and he had James Harden, these superstars, bona fide superstars at some time. They played down to this level. You know what I'm saying? When he had Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and fucking Lou Dort, they somehow played up. So, it balances out to he just a top 5 ass nigga, but he's never going to be number 1. You know, that's a good
Yeah.
point, right?
Yeah, that's kind of how I see it, man. But I don't know, man. Let's I want to get into this topic because we already kind of had this conversation, but obviously Spiff wasn't here, so I just want to give him a chance to kind of say his piece. But before we're gonna let Spiff chime in, but I want him to hear Kelvin's standpoint on like, all right, well, Kelvin and Josh's standpoint actually. With this now, with Giannis winning Finals MVP and not just winning Finals MVP, like he like literally put his foot on their neck and took that motherfucker. Like, does this at this point that Finals and then his whole playoff run really does this make him the best player in the league? Josh.
No.
Why?
Why we still here? Because there's still KD in the league. What are we talking about? Now, do I think Giannis is the face now? Yeah, we can argue that. But I'm not gonna give him what to say he's now the best. No.
That's crazy though, man.
Hey, well, call me crazy.
All right.
Oh, nigga, you crazy.
Right. Hey, so all right, but Kelvin, you say no as well?
I think LeBron could average 15 a game, and I think he'll still be the face of the league. It's just what he's built up to this point. But who cares about the face? But is he the what was the question?
Is he the best player in the league right now?
No.
Who's the best player in the league?
I would,
because he got KD. Who do you say? Hold on,
he's
what?
not top 5. Yeah. Giannis Antetokounmpo is not top 5 in the league.
Oh, I want to distance myself from him real quick. You said that.
Hey, before you even go into your top 5, who is the best player in the league?
LeBron still.
Okay.
I still think
Sorry. So who's your top 5 then?
Top 5. Yeah, in order, I'm gonna go with LeBron, KD, Kawhi, Embiid, Steph Curry, and then James Harden, and then Giannis. Like Giannis, I mean, all of those guys that I just said could average 40. I mean, they're all very, very good. But the thing when you go to that top 5, you're nitpicking.
I don't think that's true for one, but I feel
subtle things. But and then that's A, and then B, I think there's 10, 15 guys in the league that if we all set our top 5, we could come up with 5 different guys and make good points for it. You know what I mean? Like I didn't even put Luka in there, but Luka's putting up numbers that he's.
Luka's not top 5. That's why you didn't put him in there. And
I don't think so. But what I'm saying is somebody you can make an argument that Luka is top 5.
No, you cannot. No, I don't.
Hey,
you cannot make an argument for Luka being top 5. He ain't even got out of the first round of the playoffs, so he's not top 5.
Hold on. So now, but now what you're saying is you got to factor in teams. Look, LeBron lost to KD and Golden State with KD on the team, and most people still said LeBron was the best in the league.
LeBron lost to KD and Golden State in the finals for one.
And Luka, but listen, hold up. Luka lost to who did he lose to? A very good team, a team that most people had winning the championship until their best player got hurt.
They didn't win the championship though, and on top of that,
because their best player got hurt. Injuries played a part, and that's another thing. Going to Giannis, like I think you got to factor who had them beating Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? I was hoping, but
I said that. I was saying it's gonna be. I was like, that's the only team that I thought would give Brooklyn a run for their money because they just built. They built for that. You know what I'm saying?
I thought they
Giannis is built for that. But yeah, I'm gonna get mine. But yeah, my bad.
But then going on, like I said, we're nitpicking here. You know, we're picking out the things that they're holes in their games. And out of all the guys, the 7 guys I just said, Giannis has the biggest hole in his game. And that's
he don't though. Shooting. He really don't. I think
his shooting's not a problem. The dude airballed 2 free throws in the finals.
He went 16 for 17 though in the closeout game though. That and I mean because when people was
And the
arguing,
sun shines on the dog's ass some days.
hey, but it don't shine on them when you scoring. It ain't about the dog asses. You got 50 points in a clinching game in the finals against the.
So we're gonna judge him off of one game.
Nah, I judged them off not just that one game, that full finals. Because if the full playoff.
I'm talking about the full playoffs.
But I can name another player my bad. What's up?
When I said that he airballed a couple of free throws, you know what I'm saying? When, you know, every arena he goes to, they're counting because, you know, it takes him 13 seconds to shoot a free throw. Yeah, I mean, you want to beat them, you let him shoot, and he will shoot, and then he will most likely miss. He finally in the finals going against the team that I think should have lost in the first round, the Suns, if they would have played a healthy Lakers team. If we all be drunk, true, but what I'm saying is that team, that's why I kind of think this finals is kind of weak in general, because I think both of these teams, that yes, they were the healthiest.
Was the finals week last year?
Who was in it last year?
Miami and the Lakers.
Yes. Why would it be weak last year?
Well, you got Goran Dragic, who was the leading scorer on the Heat, who got injured. What's his name? Bam got injured, and they pretty much got steamrolled after that.
Yeah, it was weak to me.
But I think they would have got steamrolled anyway. Like, they played the Lakers. Like, they played arguably 2 top 5 guys in the league, and those guys didn't have a top 10 guy. Their best player played 2 outstanding games.
But that's the part. All right, but look though, the reason why I say that's crazy though is like because you just switched the narratives up, because like basically last year, because you argued that you said 2 top 5 guys, you did not have AD in your top 5 when you just named.
I said arguably, like you could put him.
He was barely in your top 10. But no, I got you. I
finished my top 10. Yeah.
Well, shit, you got all the way down to 7. So I mean,
there's still 3 more slots.
But no, the reason why I say that's crazy though is because you said, I mean, I gave you injuries last year, and you said, well, the Lakers still would have beat them. But then this year, injuries matter, even though, I mean, Giannis has the last 3 years, his team has been probably the best team in the last 3 years. The last 3 years, his team probably has been, I mean, across the board, the best team, though. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, why does that matter now?
Say that when they got swept last year.
Look, hey, look.
Yeah,
I'm tired of this.
Go ahead, bro.
Y'all gotta let this shit go, man. I smell a lot of haterism going on, and I no offense, you know what I'm saying, but I smell it just be a lot of dick ridery going on. I just don't understand, bro. This is my thing. To what Nixon said, right, about the KD thing. In my opinion, KD's a great player, but we talk about this talent thing and these skills things like it's so concrete, and it should be so hypothetical, bro. Like, I'm not rating no nigga on his potential. What are you doing? What has KD really done that is, other than score the ball in a spectacular fashion, what has he really done that make me say head and shoulders that he's better than a lot of people, better than LeBron, better than Giannis? What has he done? He's always injured his whole career. He's been in the league for 13 years, bro. He's always injured. He had that run at the beginning of his career where he had 4 scoring titles. He haven't had one since. He averaged 28 a game every year. Giannis averaged 28 a game every year. So just because you could shoot better than him, what do that mean? That don't mean anything. Your potential to me or your skills don't mean nothing to me if they don't result in wins or even more stats. They don't result in more wins or more stats. The last 3 years, Giannis had the best record in the league, MVP, finals MVP in the ring. Best record in the league, finals MVP.
Defensive player of the year too.
And defensive player of the year. And somehow he not in the top 5. And he just now, because he in the finals, he had a 42, a 40, and then a 50. And he just now cracking the top 7, Kelvin? Are y'all serious?
Oh, you talking?
I don't really know what's going on, but we call one of y'all a dick rider, so y'all better get on his ass.
Hold on.
I was gonna get to that, TJ.
Meanwhile, James Harden, the same nigga y'all talking about, he get bounced out in the second round. In his last game, he had 13 turnovers.
That's DJ Boy.
I've been saying
he trash. That's DJ Boy.
No, I'm talking to Kelvin now. He put him ahead of Giannis. He get bounced out. He's supposed to be better than Giannis. He got all these skills, right? And he gets to the free throw line just as much, if not more. And you end the 3 for 22 with 13 turnovers with 10 points. And he's supposed to be better than Giannis because he got more skill. He can shoot from 45 feet. Who the fuck cares? Who cares?
What are their percentages from free throw? You just spoke on one game.
It don't matter. The free throws don't matter.
Good game.
What does that have to do with
has a
anything?
bad.
Y'all talking about
you just brought up free throws and shooting. Like, so I'm not speaking every person. We could find a good game and a bad game on every person. I'm talking about sustainability, which is what you started.
He sustained it. He averaged 28. He averaged 28 2 years ago. He averaged 29. He averaged 28 3 years ago, 29 2 years ago, and this year he averaged 28 again with 13, 14 rebounds, 6 assists. What the fuck more do you want him to do? You want him to average 40? You want him to average 50? Like, I don't understand y'all criteria just because he can't shoot.
Because it look cooler.
No, I'm about to say, my only thing he has open KD to me is defense, and it's not to me tremendously. It has nothing to do with shooting and scoring. I don't care.
He's a better rebounder and a better defender.
I wouldn't even say
he's a better player.
Defense. I said defense. No, I'm not giving him a better player. And to me, that's all opinion. This is all opinion based, and it sounds good. I'm not gonna lie, it sounds good. But to me, he's a regular season dude. I just don't think, like you said, if it was the fifth.
But he just won the finals, though.
To me, but I'm saying if it was against healthy, like, because I don't have him even Boston putting, like, to me, everyone was injured. And it's not just his fault, because it's not his fault that it played out this way. So I'm giving him his credit. Yes, he got a championship, but just because he got a championship and average points that everyone does.
Tore his ACL. Y'all talking about injuries? The nigga damn near tore his ACL. We all saw it on live TV, came back and averaged 35 and 13.
Nigga, key word is almost. The nigga got crowd therapy. They got millions of dollars. Nigga, we don't even know. The nigga got a whole new knee.
LeBron got millions of dollars and he couldn't go with a fucking ankle with an ankle sprain.
Again, that's not my guy, and I don't even have him.
Durability matters too, though. That's the part that I think that everybody skip past.
And that durability matters, and I give it to him, all the things that he's done. Like, I think me putting him when y'all hear he's number 7 on my list, y'all hear disrespect. This is no disrespect. The dude is awesome. But I'm saying he's got a hole in his game where he is dependent on somebody else more than the other 6 guys are dependent on somebody.
But look, this is the problem with what you just saying right there. The problem with what you saying right there, though, is like him being dependent on what's in. How about you change what you're saying about that and actually say that he lets his other players play their part? Because one of the biggest problems is, like, all these other people that you name, when it come down to like clutch time and crunch time and all that stuff, they do so much that they either burn themselves out and don't do it. Like, I mean, as much as I hate to say this, James Harden, I think he plays too much at times and is too dependent on a certain type of game, and then that doesn't pan out in the playoffs. The same thing can be said about, if you look at the Nets game where when they lost to the Bucks. KD was taking every shot. He was taking all them ridiculous shots. Wasn't playing through nobody, and that shit came to an end. Who hit the game-winning shot in that game? It was Giannis, and I want to say he had like 42 that game. So like, I get it.
What are you talking about?
He scored it on KD.
Versus Brooklyn?
Yeah, the Bucks versus Brooklyn.
He scored the last bucket in overtime on KD.
Yeah, it was, and the thing is, the reason why people don't talk about it, they not in awe about it, is because it was a hook shot. It wasn't him doing a step back pull up, or he didn't go down and bang on everybody. Everybody, like, that's the part of the NBA where I'll be like, even that's the part where I make an argument for James Harden being such a great player, because everybody hate the way he do it. He get to the free throw line. I feel like that's an art. The same way I look at Giannis, the way he play. Everybody, you see Giannis and you look at and you see his body type and all that, and you automatically expect him to do what KD does, to do what LeBron does, to do what a player that's built like him.
Do a little bit of everything. That is.
Yeah, but sometimes they do a little bit of everything, and then they don't do enough of one other thing, and that's the thing. That Giannis, he go and my biggest thing is y'all don't. No, but how when he just stepped on everybody's neck and went and took the ring this year. So it's like you ain't never. I'm telling you, when Shaq was the best player in the league, nobody took away from Shaq because he couldn't hit free throw. You only cared that he dominated the game in such a way that nobody could stop it. The only reason you look at Giannis in a different way that you look at Shaq is because Shaq is 100 pounds heavier than Giannis. That is literally the only difference.
There's some truth to that, but I mean, you spoke on that game, game 7. Chris Middleton had 38, and he hit the game tie-in shot with that was the biggest shot of the game. There was no pressure on Giannis to hit that little hook joint that he did on KD. But now, hold on. Hold on, one more thing. Will we even be having this conversation if Kevin Durant's big toe was a millimeter backwards? We wouldn't.
What the fuck do that have to do with Giannis?
And on top of that,
hold on. Let me tell you what. He wouldn't have won the finals. He would have lost in the second round, or was
that's the equivalent to equivalent. You not knowing where your foot is the equivalent to turning the ball over, in my opinion. If you don't know where your foot is,
I understand that. But what I'm saying is that, so you're saying that doesn't matter.
It don't matter, because let's say, all right, let me tell you a difference. Let's say instead of him not taking an extra step back and hitting that three and the ball bounced off his foot, it'd have been a different story. We'd have been talking about, he turned the ball over. It's the same thing. You need to have situational awareness. That's the problem. Some people gonna go get it and take
what you're saying. But listen, the problem with what you're saying is that it all comes down to one point. And that's what I'm saying with this whole conversation. It's bigger than one game, one possession. It is, what have you done for me over the whole mainly the playoffs, but over the whole year. I account for all of that. So yeah, that's all I'm saying. I don't care about one game. That kind of stuff factors, but
Nixon, go ahead, and then Kelvin, I'll tell you why you're wrong.
I'll just have a question. So let's say hypothetically, next year, everybody's healthy and they get the brakes beat off of them. KD destroys them, right? Is Giannis still the best player?
It depends on how he plays.
Okay. Solid one.
It depends on how he plays.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not saying that KD, because he lost, that he is a bottom 5 player.
No, and I'm saying the same thing. I'm saying the same thing. I say Giannis is a good player. I have him in my top. I say he's good. I just don't think he's the best. I have him as number 2. I just don't think he's the best.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, that's fair. You can argue KD, but for me, I just feel like people automatically, because it don't look cool when he plays ball, people automatically, discredit what he does. And I just don't get it when you really watch the games. If y'all really watching the games, he's a winning basketball player. That's it. The name of the game is win. And he does everything you need in order to win. Yes, he has a glaring hole in his game, but everybody got a glaring hole in his game. KD is not at all the defender that Giannis is. Kelvin, to your point, Kawhi Leonard haven't been a great defender in fucking 6 years. He getting his ass cooked by a 22-year-old white man, and you got him number 4. He get his ass cooked 36 and 13 and 12 put on his head by a 22-year-old little white man, and he's supposed to be one of the best defenders in the league. He haven't defended nobody
what happened
in
game
years.
6 and game 7, and why they got past that 22-year-old white man? He cooked him. He killed him. He annihilated him.
Yeah. He had a great game.
To the second
he's supposed to. He's 22. He's a 22-year-old white man. Yes, he's supposed to do that, and he did that.
But who is?
And then he got injured like he do every year. Because he can't stay on the court. Nigga got glass knees. Because they don't take care of their body. But that's another
and injuries, that's another thing that like I mean, these injuries are like the injury to Embiid. I mean, if Embiid didn't get, tear his meniscus, we'd be having the same conversation. Embiid would be holding a trophy and y'all would be saying that he's the best because he didn't have a freak accident on the court. Like
I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear nothing about no freak accident. If we count freak accident, it's not a freak accident. If that's the case, Tracy McGrady, Brandon Roy, and Derrick Rose is the greatest players to ever touch a ball. If that's the case.
They weren't the best players.
Joel Embiid get injured every year. How long is we going to keep giving him excuses? He get injured every single year. KD get injured every single year. Chris Paul get injured every single year. Kyrie get injured every single year. And why do we give them passes? Because they can't stay on the court. And then discredit Giannis because he's healthy. That don't make sense.
But that's your opinion, but I'm not factoring that in so much. When you ask me my top five, your greatest, I'm judging these guys by their greatest. And I think KD is greater than Giannis at their greatest, at their peaks. That's what it comes down to. I'd rather have KD or these 6 guys in front of him lead my team. And I think that team healthy will beat a Giannis-led team healthy. That's what it comes down to.
I understand what you're saying, bro, but go ahead.
No, that's it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but skills don't dictate that. Those skills are hypothetical. Y'all saying, okay, in a game 7, with the game on the line, with the game on the line, who do you want taking the last shot? And then most was like KD, and then okay, now he's the best player because of that. It's 47 more minutes of a game. It's 82 games in a season, and y'all talking about if we had one game for the fate of the universe, then I would pick this guy, and that's what makes him the best player. That don't make sense. It's more to the game than that. And we, for whatever reason, maybe it's because ball is life, maybe it's because all the game that we see is boiled down to highlights and fucking 30-second clips. Maybe we feel like, okay, if this person can do this one thing in this one situation, then that makes him the best player. When it's literally we've forgotten about the entirety of the game of basketball. And this nigga does everything.
You never heard me say anything about anything about last minute of the game, last 5 minutes, nothing like that. I'm talking total gameplay. Who I think with LeBron, his game, he can do a little bit of everything. His team, if they were on the same team, and the only difference was those 2 players, I think this team is going to pull through. I think LeBron can get more out of his teammates. I think he can do a little bit more. I
agree with that.
You have to respect his inside and outside game. Giannis, you don't have to do. And a part of why he won the championship is some of the terrible play calling on defense that the Suns coach was doing. I forgot his name right now.
They were trying to terrible play calling.
He did. They even I seen they're speaking. They tried to play him one-on-one with their center like that. What should have they been doing? Giannis is probably double. I mean, dude, like you said, he's getting 40, point triple doubles or whatever. He also averaged 6 assists, right? So you don't think that he could pass out of games? I'm just saying. So you don't. That's not an indicator. Look, if you say that they single cover him. You saying they single cover him the whole series, and he still averaged 6 assists, and he's not a point guard, and he don't play with the ball in his hands primarily. So if they double him, you don't think that he would be able to pass out of them doubles? He haven't proven that to you? No, he hasn't. Because if you double him, I don't think he's going to get you 12 assists. Like you're saying, that's A. B, 6 assists don't win you games. Like that's not he got 6 assists. How many assists wins you games? That's good for him, but that's not, huh? How many assists wins you games? It's not about one person getting assists. That's kind of my point. This pass. Okay, now they doubled him, got the ball out of their best player's hand, making somebody else have to work with it. That now we have a better chance of that person missing. We get the rebound. That's what they should have done, and they probably realize that now that they're at home. But and that's why I think they could lose, depending on wherever they go, first, second round next year. And then, Josh, that was a good question.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
This is my last point, Kelvin. This is my last point, and then, I'll rebut to anything that Nixon got to say, TJ got to say, or if Braxton wanted to chime back in. If you look through the history of the league, all I'm talking about is winning. That's the name of the game. Putting the ball in the hole and fucking winning. That's the name of the game, period. If you look through the history of the league from every step of the way, the most dominant player is the most winningest player and usually the best player in the league, no matter what. Every era. You look in the 50s and 60s, it was Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain. They were the best players in the league. Nobody said nothing about because they can't shoot a fucking three-pointer. But anyway, they were the best players in the league. They won all the championships, right? You move forward. You go to the 70s. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Oscar Robertson. They was freak athletes, the most dominant players in the world. Dominant. I don't care about if a nigga can shoot a three.
You're making the case that I should put an asterisk on this.
The 80s. Then the 80s come, and you got Magic Johnson. And again, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Bird. These is dominant players. They dominate the game. 90s come, Michael Jordan, he's a freak athlete, dominates the game. LeBron comes, and Kobe to some extent. He was a dominant scorer. Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant were dominant scorers, and that's how they dominate the game. Thus, they won all the championships. In this situation, and then next comes LeBron. He's a freak, 6'9", 4'4", 40 running point guard. Dominates the game physically. So now Giannis comes. He's a physically dominant over everybody, but because he can't shoot a three, all of a sudden he's not the best player in the world. That don't make sense to me. When every step of the way, the most dominant player has been the best player in the league. Oh, and I forgot about Shaq, who was the best player in the league for them that 3-year stretch when they three-peated. Most dominant player in the league.
Shaq, and Giannis is the only dominant player in the league right now.
Right, and over the last 3 years, he's been the most dominant player in the league. And now he won a ring.
I said,
and then before that, he had the best record in the league 2 years in a row.
Not to mention
2 years in a row. Third year, he win a ring. And y'all steady talking about KD. You have to join the Warriors to get a ring. 2 rings.
Regular season don't mean shit to me. Dirk Nowitzki won 67 games in a year, got put out first round. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so what? Like, regular season, that don't do nothing for me. Like, okay.
So what has
what you just hold on. You just went for a minute. I guess so. You just made the argument. You just said that Giannis is the only dominant player in the league, and I disagree.
I said the most.
Most. I disagree with that. But then what you just made the whole point out of all that you said is that we basically need to put an asterisk on this year because, like, this is the 1 year that the most dominant didn't win. I mean, I think you can make an argument that Giannis is. I mean, not Giannis. Embiid is. And he was looking.
What makes him more dominant than Giannis?
He got injured this year. Because he can do everything. He can eat more. I think he can eat more than he can get to the rim better than Giannis can. Because he's already part of
why doesn't he?
The ball.
Why doesn't he? Why doesn't he get to the rim?
Does.
How?
Wait, the dude.
My thing is, we talking about. If we talking about Embiid being the most dominant, how do we say that when Giannis pretty much dominates in every category, like is better in every category outside of shooting the ball? Other than that,
more rebounds, more points, more everything. But he gets to and he can't shoot threes. That's the thing. He averaged more points than Joel Embiid, more rebounds than Joel Embiid. But he can't shoot threes, so obviously more of his points are coming in the paint, and somehow Joel Embiid gets to the paint better than Giannis. That makes no sense. 0 sense. But go ahead.
They play different. I think Embiid could eat more in there, but he's having to play outside because
he don't have to do anything.
But see, that's the
he don't
what
have
you
to
just
for
said.
His team to be successful.
Your excuse for that though is it. Your excuse for that is exactly why you saying Giannis is one glaring hole in his game. They play the game different. That's exactly what it is.
Giannis plays the game different, and he dominates at a way higher clip. I mean, the Bucks have been a better team than the Sixers, and the Sixers continue to add pieces to try to help that team out, and they can't get over the hump. So, like, to put him ahead of dude, I just don't get that. You know what I'm saying? So
that's not Embiid's fault.
Who fought it? At some point, if you are the dominant player, you have to go and dominate a team. Like, I mean, we can look at LeBron, he's done it. You know what I'm saying? We can look at you mentioned KD. KD at some point has taken over and decided, you know what, this is, forget everything else. I'm gonna take over this game. I don't Embiid, like, to throw Embiid in there, I'm like, he hasn't even done that. That's why I'm like, it's like we grasping at straws now. We just finding any reason, because like I said, like the NBA has gotten so used to people doing everything, and I'm not talking about being great at everything, but just doing everything, that if a person doesn't do everything, then they automatically get taken out of the best of the in the league, no matter how dominant they are at every. Like, it don't matter that you can't shoot, because you're gonna go down there and, like, people gonna put that wall up, and somehow he figured that out. If it's not as simple as, like, oh, Monty Williams couldn't, like, he didn't play the defense the right way. No, at some point, Giannis decided, I don't give a shit about y'all walls. I don't give a fuck about y'all stepping up and stopping my momentum. I'm still going to get to the rim. I'm still going to out-rebound y'all, and we're going to win this game. And I'm going to also score 50 points on whoever your best player is, or 40 points on the best player in the league, and we're going to get y'all the fuck up out of there. That's what the best player in the league does. And that's not to say that if next year KD come out and go crazy, we can't argue that he's the best player in the league. I don't think that it has to stay that way. But right now, I don't think that is, like, that's an argument, especially in a game 7. You had a chance to put this man out and you didn't. And then he went on to dominate everybody else.
And look, y'all talk about all of this skill that KD got, and all of this, all of this. In that game, y'all want to say he got tired? I don't want to hear that. He went 1 for 6 in overtime. 1 for 6. He missed damn near all of his shots in overtime in that game 7. You had a chance to win. I don't want to hear none of that. You had a chance to win. And then furthermore, in game 6, he got outplayed by Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton had 38 in game 6 in that series. You got outplayed by Chris Middleton.
Disagree.
And you the best player in the world. I don't want to hear that shit, man.
I'm pretty sure he had like 40 points that game. I gotta look it up. But
yeah, in game 6 he had 32 on 15 or 32 shooting. He shot below 30%, 50%, and got outplayed by Chris Middleton. But look it up.
And he was the literally only option on his team, and he played every single minute those last 2 games. But I think y'all, if y'all made the argument, it sounded like y'all were, like, we switched up the topic that, are we talking about most dominant? I'll give you that. Like, you definitely got an argument there. But yeah, but best player, nah. And for me, top 5, nah. The hole in his game, that's what it comes to. The hole is
everybody got holes in their game. Whose hole is more
his
important?
Is this big. Everybody else is this big.
That's why I say that's what makes him that great, because with that hole, you still wasn't able to stop him from blasting through everybody for the last 3 years. Like, if the hole in your game can't be that bad if you can't stop somebody from dominating.
The last 3 years? How do you keep saying the last 3 years and he got put out? He got swept last year.
I'm saying that because 1, they had the best record in the league, and then 2, he's a back-to-back MVP and Defensive Player of the Year, and then 3, this year he just won the title. Because if you making that argument, off of injury alone, KD ain't even been in this discussion. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
LeBron been put out plenty of times. In an 18-year, well, then again, he been 10 times. But the point is that, or 11. But the point is that, every player gets put out. Michael Jordan got put out in the first round. Nobody disputed that he was the best player in the league when he got put out. Nobody. Not nobody.
LeBron
Nobody
pretty much
ever
got a
said,
gentleman's sweep, and they still say he was the best in the league. So I mean,
hey,
he been swept in the finals, and I mean, we still were saying he the best in the league. So I mean, that's
you want to know something that's even crazier about this shit, Braxton? Funny enough that we talking about LeBron. He lost to Phoenix in the first round. The biggest thing that the Bucks had over Phoenix was that they were bigger. That's how they won. They out-rebounded the Suns. They dominated the Suns. What stopped the Lakers from doing that when they clearly were the bigger team than the Suns? What stopped LeBron from doing exactly what Giannis did? What stopped LeBron from doing exactly what Giannis did and going down on that block and dominating like Giannis did? What stopped him from doing that?
Two things. A, how were the Lakers bigger? And B, what stopped LeBron from doing that was his ankle.
They had him, Mark Gasol, and who was they backup center? Who else they backup center?
Harrell, Mark Gasol. Yeah, Damari Harrell, Mark Gasol.
Dwight and Drummond.
And
or it's Markieff Morris or whichever one.
Yeah, Drummond.
Yeah. And Drummond. They were clearly the bigger team. Like clearly. So again, yeah, they're clearly the bigger team. They had Drummond, Marc Gasol, LeBron
Harold
James.
didn't play a minute. Hold on. Harold didn't play a minute. Marc Gasol is 7'2". He runs a 10-second 40. So he don't get much burn, and he plays on the outside, even though he's so tall. And
what's the difference between him and Brook Lopez?
So you have Drummond.
What's the difference between him and Brook Lopez?
Brook Lopez is still a little more athletic than.
I feel like we ain't gonna get nowhere with this one, but
see, I stop talking. It's agree to disagree. I'm not about to keep doing this with y'all. We gonna see next year.
At the end of the day,
it don't make sense. That's all.
At the end of the day, the most dominant player in the league dominated the playoffs this year and won. So I would think.
In your opinion,
but I got you. I mean, the stat showed it too, though. But okay, but yeah. So I guess we got where we at on time?
121.
Like,
okay, yeah, we're gonna probably have to cut it. But damn, man, I wanted to get on. I want to get your opinion on these other topics, but it's cool. We'll say that for another time. But yeah, I think that's all. That's gonna be all, folks. Y'all got anything y'all want to plug before we close it out?
Nah.
Nixon, I know you got your gaming. You don't want to promote your gaming channel.
No,
yeah, man.
Not to get official. I'm still working on it.
Okay.
Appreciate y'all.
Heard.
For sure. Yeah, something I wanted to plug is Nixon's homeboy who I forget his name is Torian, right?
Correct.
Yeah, he sent this shirt, Men of Xcellence. My bad, I was supposed to wear it a while ago. I did wear it and I was gonna take a picture, but I was out at the zoo with my son and he got sweaty as hell, and I wasn't gonna do it like that. But you know,
it only say MO. Show the whole piece.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah. So tap in with him. We're gonna have his the link to his clothing line in the bio. Chef TJ, you got anything you want to promote, bro?
Nah, I just cook sometimes, and my food is fire. Derek, tell him about the lamb chops. Tell him, bro.
Oh yeah, bro. Definitely, because I'm moving. People don't know I'm moving from Texas to Cali, so bro, definitely hooked us up with a lamb chop dinner, the Detroit special.
The Detroit special. You ain't have to tell them all that, but yeah, I just want you to let them know what the lamb chops hit for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It went crazy. I ain't gonna hold you.
Hey TJ, what's your Instagram, man? Plug that Instagram, bro.
Chef _ TJ. That's my.
It's gonna be in the description, along with everybody's Facebook and Instagram.
Bad.
Yeah. Same for me, man. Just Instagram motion picture Spiff on Instagram. I got a lot of projects coming with Motion Picture Social Club. So just everybody stay tuned. I got a lot of stuff coming for sure.
That's what's up. Kelvin, you got anything, bro?
No, not at all. No.
All right, bet. Well, once again, appreciate y'all tapping in with us. Like, comment, subscribe if you on YouTube. Like, share. You know what I'm saying? Let everybody know about us if you following us on one of the podcasting networks. Other than that, man, it's been good. If you got any feedback you want to tap in with us as well, go ahead and hit the inbox and we'll get with you. But that's all I got.
Oh, out.